Opposition leader Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, known to millions as Bobi Wine, has released a deeply moving and entrenching statement regarding Ambassador Olara Otunnu's candidacy for a top United Nations position. And in his address, he expressed immense pride in the veteran diplomat while also acknowledging the tough questions that many Ugandans are asking about the regime's sudden and suspicious change of heart in endorsing a man they once vindictively blocked from this very role. Bobi Wine began his statement by declaring that as a Ugandan, it fills him with pride to see an illustrious son of the nation carry a lifetime of global service, fierce commitment to the vulnerable, and a deep passion for justice to the world state. And he reminded the country that for years, many Ugandans have followed with great respect Ambassador Olara Otunnu's incredible track record at the United Nations, particularly his work championing human rights and protecting children in armed conflict, which Bobi Wine described as exactly the kind of leadership the global community desperately needs right now. Because true leadership is measured by integrity, vision, and unwavering dedication to peace and justice. But then Bobi Wine turned to the painful history that cannot be forgotten, reminding Ugandans of the historical injustice when the Museveni regime, in its own words, vindictively denied Otunnu an endorsement for his very position years ago, simply because he refused to stay silent about the atrocities they were committing against the people of Uganda. And he lamented that perhaps if Otunnu had risen to that position at the time, the world would be fairer, more just, and more peaceful. Yet now, the same regime that blocked him has suddenly changed its mind, and Bobi Wine acknowledged that citizens are raising tough questions about his reversal, adding that their skepticism is completely understandable given that the bloodthirsty regime continues to do to the people in his own words. In a moment of profound reasons, Bobi Wine spoke directly to those skeptical citizens, telling them that he knows Ambassador Olara Otunnu to be a man of deep humility, who welcomes free speech and receives even the tough concerns with grace. And he urged Ugandans to bank on Otunnu's long-term proven integrity, expressing hope that when he rises to become the world's top diplomat, he will never turn a blind eye to the ongoing struggle for freedom in his own motherland, because as Otunnu himself has consistently acknowledged, Uganda faces dark spots that need fixing, and Bobi Wine said this honest admission is precisely that gives him confidence in the ambassador's character. Central to Bobi Wine's address was his emphasis on Otunnu's vision for genuine multilateral reform, where international institutions must evolve beyond more arenas of superpower politics to become true instruments of equity, accountability, and shared prosperity for all nations. And he painted a picture of a fairer, more just world that could emerge if leaders like Otunnu are given the chance to shape global governance. Now, it is important to note that Bobi Wine's statement comes against the backdrop of a heated public debate that has gripped the nation, where many Ugandans, especially NOP, including the outspoken Fred Lumbuye, have triggered wide attacks on Dr. Olara Otunnu for accepting the government's endorsement, with critics arguing that accepting the regime's backing amounts to compromising with a bloodthirsty government. But interestingly, the criticism has been highly selective, because when Peter Charles Mayiga, the category of Uganda, publicly endorsed Ambassador Olara Otunnu, he faced no such attacks. And when Rosette Muzigo Morrison was endorsed by the Uganda government for a seat at the National Criminal Court for the term 2027 to 2036, not a single critical voice was raised against her, a glaring double standard that many Ugandans have pointed out as tribal and hypocritical, exposing the ugly divisions that the regime's apologists are desperately trying to exploit. Bobi Wine did not directly address these critics by name in his statement, but his broader message was clear. The nation must rise above petty tribalism like the one of Lumbuye and focus on the substance of Otunnu's character and his proven track record. Because the struggle for justice does not depend on who endorses who, but on the unwavering commitment of leaders like Ambassador Olara Otunnu, who have spent a lifetime standing on the side of the vulnerable and the oppressed. And Bobi Wine closed his address by offering his full solidarity and prayers for the ambassador, declaring that Otunnu carries the collective aspirations of Ugandans for a fairer, more just, and more peaceful world to the global stage. And he called all citizens to look beyond the regime's political mechanization and through the weight behind a man whose integrity, vision, and dedication to peace have never been in question. Because in a world desperate for genuine leadership, Uganda has an opportunity to shine through one of its finest suns.